And I'm here with a little tutorial for you on cropping and sizing pictures. I had someone that asked how to do this without cropping their whole layout. And so I thought I'd get on and show you a few ways that you can do that. I am in Photoshop. Move that out of the way. Um, so I don't know if you've tried this before, so I'll just bring this photo on here and show you what happens. If you choose the crop tool and crop your picture while it is on your layout, so say that that's what I wanted, it's going to crop my whole thing. Once I hit the check mark, it's going to crop my whole layout, which I don't want it to do. So that's not the best way to crop the photo. So let me show you how you can do it. Um, you can see here that I have the photo separate from my layout, and that's the best way to crop it. If you're going to actually use the crop tool, which is advantageous because you can choose the size that you want. So I have already measured the spot that I want, and I know that my width is 2¼ now I forgot, by 3, I believe, and 300 resolution. So then I can crop my photo, and it's going to crop it to that size that I specified. So if I do that and then hit the check mark, you can see that it cropped my photo. It did not crop my photo. Let's try that again. I didn't hit the check mark. Sorry about that. So we're going to crop the photo again to the size that we want. I put the measurements in before, then hit the check mark, and it's going to crop my photo to what I specified. And then I can drag it onto my layout and put it on the right layer. Drag that up. And center it on my photo mat and add my shadow. So that is one way that you can do it, by cropping it beforehand. Other options that you've got, that, and do this. So now I've got my photo at the full size again. I can drag it. If there's nothing that I want cropped out of it, I can drag it onto my layout and then use my free transform, which gives me the little anchor points on the corners. I can hold down my shift key and then just shrink that down to the size that I need. Again, I put it on the wrong layer. You should be better at that. And then move it over where I need it. It looks like I need to shrink it a little bit more so that my mat shows underneath. So if there's not things that you need to crop out of the photo, that's another way you can do it, is just shrink the photo down after you've drug it onto your layout. So I'm going to undo that to show you the other options. If you already have it on here, so let me shrink it down again. So I'm going to shrink it down and say that there were parts of the photo that I didn't want. I can use my marquee select tool. So I'm going to choose the rectangle one, and then I can like cut off the sides or the pieces that I don't want. So I'm going to put my marquee tool around this edge that's just blank space that I want to get rid of. Make sure I've got the photo layer selected. So over here, make sure that you're on that layer, and then you can hit delete. And then Control D will deselect the thing that you had selected. And then if I wanted to get rid of a little bit up at the top, I can do the same thing. Choose the marquee tool. So the part that I want to get rid of, make sure that you're on the photo layer and then hit delete. So now I've got rid of the unwanted areas. I can drag that over to my mat and then continue with my free transform. Hold your shift key down to keep it in proportion and then just size it down to what I want. So that is another option. The last option that I wanted to show you is similar to how you would do it if it was on a template where you could clip it to the layer. So what I'm going to do, I've got my photo mat and I'm going to add a blank layer above it. So I've got my photo mat, I've got my blank layer above it, and then I'm going to choose my shape tool and I want the rectangle. And then I'm going to draw my rectangle shape of the photo that I want. Okay, so I drew my shape. I'm going to move it, choose my move tool and move it over so that it's centered on my photo mat. Then I'm going to rasterize that layer. So right click, rasterize the layer so that it makes it into a shape. Then I can drag my photo on top of that, hit my clipping mask. So it's control G in my program. Some of you, it might be control alt G is the other option. It just depends on what program that you're using. Or you can right click and create clipping mask and it will clip it to your shape. Then you can choose your edit, retransform, and shrink it down so that just the part that you want to show. So like if I just wanted to focus on their faces in this picture, I could do that. I can shrink it down more so that the pumpkin shows, but then it's just flipped to that mask. So those are the 4 ways that you can clip your photo, size your photo, crop your photo to work on your layout. Have any additional questions, you can ask those in the comment section of the tutorial.